What's up, space pirates? This is your captain, the Dread Pirate Dr. Disaster, and they say that when someone tells you who they are, you should believe them.
I'm an idiot!
Now, who can argue with that?
Dragon Age The Veilguard put out a trailer for their upcoming game a few months back, and people absolutely lambasted that thing because it looked like a Fortnite heist movie instead of, dark fantasy. That was precisely the vibe they were going for, and we believed them. But now, it would seem the developers must be getting nervous. It would seem that Bioware wants to change the narrative. The response they got from gamers must have not been what they were looking for, because they are trying desperately to convince gamers that this is going to be just like the old Dragon Age titles.
What are you?
I'm full of shit. Alright, me hearties, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and also, don't forget to follow me over on Twitter, where I keep a list of woke and DEI infested games pinned to my account at all times for your reference. My handle on there is Dr. Disaster 1. Anyhow, let's talk about Dragon Age The Veilguard. You see, when the brilliant minds that made this game put out that trailer for Dragon Age a month or so ago, they made the conscious decision to make the trailer campy and goofy as shit. Keep in mind that the original Dragon Age games were a dark fantasy. The Veilguard looks like it comes from a completely new IP. It looks like it was made by someone who either had never played a Dragon Age game or by someone who didn't like the original Dragon Age games. Either way, it absolutely doesn't fit, and that is why the trailer got ratioed really bad. If you look at the trailer here, you can see that it got 45,000 upvotes to a whopping 267,000 down. People were very unhappy with this thing. And that unhappiness carried over to the gameplay trailer, which was also ratioed. Though not as bad, it had 86,000 thumbs up to 113,000 thumbs down. Bioware must have gotten the message though, because now they are going well out of their way to make it sound like everything is back to the way the franchise once was. This article from PC Gamer says, Dragon Age director says Bioware learned an important lesson from the disaster that was Anthem. Know what you're good at and then double down on it. The article then goes on to talk about how weird it was that Bioware, who made Baldur's Gate, KOTOR, Mass Effect, and Dragon Age, developed Anthem, a multiplayer looter shooter. The game was a failure, and Bioware claims that taught them some much needed lessons that they used in making Dragon Age The Veilguard. But here's the thing. Clearly, they are full of shit, because this isn't business as usual with Dragon Age. They went out of their way to point out that this game has a campy vibe to it, as opposed to the dark fantasy that Dragon Age needed to be. The original teaser trailers for The Veilguard, back before the reveal trailer came out, the original teaser trailers looked like dark fantasy stuff, but the reveal trailer felt more like Guardians of the Galaxy or Borderlands or something like that. It wasn't taking itself very seriously, and for fans of the series who enjoyed the dark and somber tone of the originals, this was a splash of cold water on the face. It literally felt like this was a completely different IP. So, what this seems like to me, this commentary that Bioware is throwing out there absolutely smacks of desperation and panic. It seems as though they are trying to seize control of the narrative because gamers are roasting this thing. They went with something experimental, which is unsurprising since this game is being directed by someone who is a self-described queerosexual gendermancer.
What the hell is that?
You know, it doesn't even matter what that even is. All I know is that I don't want to play a Dragon Age game made by one. I don't want to play any game that someone like that is designing, because these days you just know that this is going to be made for the virtually non-existent modern audience. The trailer really told us everything we need to know about what sort of design this game was going for. They had every opportunity to present another chapter in the Dark Fantasy series, but instead they attempted to break the mold. They went for the Fortnite crowd, and that was a serious mistake. That is why they are trying to get out ahead of the narrative, which you can see here from this headline on the website That Park Place. They're trying to get out there and inform us about changes being made to the game well ahead of time, and as I said, this absolutely reeks of panic. The comments on the trailers and the epic ratios were a splash of cold water on their face quite clearly, and the tone of this game is going to drive people away. That being said, I will say this. I actually appreciate that they were so forthright about this game having a campy Fortnite tone. Usually, these modern developers out there do their best to hide that shit and trick people into playing their games after they've hijacked a beloved IP. But this time, they're doing the opposite. They told us what it is, and now they're trying to push that jack-in-the-box back into the box. But it ain't gonna work. We won't forget what this game is actually gonna be like. But I'm gonna leave it there. How excited are you to buy The Veilguard when it releases later this year? Drop your thoughts on this game and your mockery into the comment section below, and we will talk there.
Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your captain is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booze.